Alex Michaels, Kevin Simazar. I'm also an actor, and I play the prosecutor in Out of Darkness, which you should watch, by the way. All right, I want to talk a little bit about Bill Cosby and about prosecutors. I've actually studied prosecutors, and I've worked with real attorneys and lawyers and everything. And the reason I'm speaking on this is because a lot of people are going to be upset that the Supreme Court decided not to put Bill Cosby back in jail. But from a legal perspective, here's why they didn't, okay? All right. You can go into the details and you can read all the facts and something like summarizing, okay? All right. Many years ago, Bill Cosby was accused of sexual assault, and the prosecutor at the time felt that he couldn't win the case in a criminal court of law, okay? Times have changed and everything now, but he didn't feel that he could win. So what happened was the person filed a civil lawsuit, okay? And she actually won almost $4 million in the civil lawsuit, okay? And one of the reasons she won is because Bill Cosby agreed to do a deposition and to sit there and recount what happened, okay? That he was definitely guilty of what he did, but he agreed to it on the grounds that it would never be used in a court of law, okay? This deposition was sealed. It would never be used in court of law. It was only used as part of the civil lawsuit, okay? All right. And so that was done. So years later, with the whole Me Too movement and everything, a prosecutor decides to revisit the case, and he decides to use that evidence, the deposition that was never ever supposed to be used. And his mindset was that, okay, well, there wasn't a formal agreement, but, even though the other prosecutor said that you couldn't use it, I'm still going to go ahead and use this piece of evidence in a criminal trial, knowing that I'm not supposed to use it, okay? And that is why we're at where we're at. Not because the man's innocent, not because, he didn't do it. It's because a prosecutor used a piece of evidence he wasn't supposed to use, okay? And from other perspectives, you're seeing the same thing where you've seen cases thrown out because there was a confession that was coerced, or there was a legal piece of evidence that they used, or the cops brought it, did something without a search warrant. So, basically, you have rules, okay, in the court of law, and there were a lot of people for injustice and stuff, but there are some set rules. If you can't use a piece of evidence, you can't use a piece of evidence, okay? And that's what the prosecutor did in this case, and so it was only a matter of time before Mr. Cosby was allowed to walk, okay? But in retrospect, he did lose the civil lawsuit. The person was awarded almost $4 million, and there's other things that he's done that prosecutors can and should go after him for, but going after him for something that, you can't win because you're using a piece of evidence. Now that also brings to a point too with the role I played, in the TV show, and I based it on a lot of prosecutors, that I did research and study on. A lot of prosecutors sometimes will only take cases if they think they can win, okay? If you can't win, you're not going to take the case. And that was the mindset of my prosecutor that I played. It's based on real people. And the prosecutor in the Bill Cosby case should have known that he couldn't win if he was going to base his case around a piece of evidence that he wasn't supposed to use. So that was it. So I know a lot of people read this, hey, you're defending Bill Cosby. You're saying what he did was right. No, I'm saying what the prosecutor did was wrong, okay? But, hey, feel free to attack me if you want to. I'm not a real prosecutor. I only play one TV. All right. Ask Michael's Kevin Simmons. Remember, there are no small movies, only small budgets.